Well, the president set to make a public pitch this week plans for dealing with the fiscal cliff. According to the White House, the president will make a campaign-style appearance on Friday at a toy manufacturing plant in Pennsylvania. Republicans and Democrats are working to avoid going over that cliff, the popular term for the combination of spending cuts and tax cut eliminations that is set to hit at the start of the new year. The president has been pushing Congress to preserve the Bush-era tax rates for the middle class, but let them expire for Americans who make more than $250,000 a year, while Republicans have been calling for Democrats to agree to serious cuts in entitlement. A number of GOP lawmakers have also said they're ready to put new revenue on the table. That's brand new, but mainly through closing loopholes. Mike Emanuel has the news of the day from Capitol Hill. Sounds like the solution needs to be an all-of-the-above approach, frankly.
Well, Shep, and two former Republican congressmen wrote in the Wall Street Journal today that when you consider all the federal government's liabilities, our debt is more like $86.6 trillion. Every day you have all these baby boomers retiring and obviously needing those retirement benefits. So a key Senate Republican says entitlements must be a part of the negotiations.
If you're going to solve the problem, there's no question you're going to need some revenue, but you could take all the revenue and wouldn't solve the problem. So the real answer is we have a demographic shift that's coming into entitlement programs that have increased their benefits without increasing the taxes to pay for those entitlement programs, and they're bankrupt, essentially.
We've heard a lot of people say over the course of the campaign that people love Medicare. Well, an expert told me today a lot of that's because for every dollar you put in, most Americans get $3 back, and that is unsustainable. But when you start talking about entitlement reform, a lot of groups and a lot of seniors get awfully antsy about what you're talking about, Shepard.
There is a math problem there, but don't mess with my math when it's my stuff. And where do lawmakers stand on these spending cuts?
Well, Coburn, who you heard there moments ago, told me that he could cut $600 billion out of the federal government and almost nobody would notice. For some Democrats, talking to them, they seem to think that there may be some savings had at the Pentagon.
There isn't anybody, left, right, or center, who wants to compromise America's national defense. But to believe that having ended one war in Iraq and ending another in Afghanistan and reassessing our role in the world, we cannot find savings in the Pentagon, I think is not a fair assessment.
He's not the only Democrat to tell me that. I've heard from others as well that essentially after two wars, after the great expansion of our military over those two wars, that there may be some savings to be had. But at this point, there are a lot of discussions going on, a lot behind closed doors, and not a lot of leaks at this point. So there's a lot of anxiety about what actually is going to get done if it gets done. Shep.
Mike Emanuel at the Rotunda this afternoon. Mike, thanks.